Welcome to Vishwa Darshan channel. The inspiring force, spiritual force behind this channel is revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath D. Karad sir. On the occasion of 10th World Parliament on Science, Religion, Spirituality and Philosophy on 3rd to 5th October 2024 this year, which happened at the world's largest Philosopher Shri Dnyaneshwara World Peace Dome, many eminent personalities were present to share their thoughts. Ms Deborah Sawaf, founder and CEO, Power of Words Foundation, shared her thoughts in one of the sessions. She is a designer with a global pro-woman stance and is empowering change through fashion. She has created a movement, the Power of Words, a brand that is anchored in its mission to break down the barriers around the stigma of mental health. Let's know from her about Power of Words, band-bond therapy and much more. Dr. Sanjay Upadhye, who is a well-known writer, philosopher, orator and human resource trainer, is interacting with her.
Namaste. Very special guest we have today is Ms Deborah. She is born in Mumbai and stayed in Italy and now residing in USA. She is we cannot call it as a fashion designer, but giving a different perspective to the word fashion itself. She has created some new way towards the human peace and human psychology, where human will at peace, they will be at ease and not disease. We are going to have this session on actually Vishwa Darshan channel, being directed by our Dr. Mukesh Sharma. Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
And
thank you, Dr. Sanjay.
yeah, and very first question is, as far as particularly two words they influence me. One is about the band bond and one is the power of words. Because power of words is right from there in Mahabharata also, when every chapter ends with the Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvad. So Samvad is a conversation. It has to be with the words. It's not a non-verbal communication. So changing the personality through words also.
Absolutely.
That is what the power of words. I like that phrase. So can you just brief your work to our audience in this regard?
Thank you. As Dr. Sanjay said, I was born in India. I was born in a suburb of Bombay. I lived in the Middle East, work out of Italy my entire career, and now I reside in the United States. I've been in fashion for about 28 years, and I was asked to be the fashion event at the Super Bowl and the NBA All-Star Weekend in 2022. Having been in fashion, the condition was, as a philanthropic brand, you give back to, the request was to give back to mental health. And this is post-COVID, and I realized post-COVID, all of the students I was mentoring, we needed a little more than a one-time give back. You can do a fashion show and give back, but that wasn't going to make a change in mental health at all. But I realized that the formula that I was using to mentor students was something that was so needed now. And how could I take this method outside of just one-on-one? Everything we do in mental well-being is about the individual. So you see a doctor, you see a counselor, you see a psychiatrist, you have your medication, but then you go out into the world and you're on your own. And I really believe that the survival of mental well-being is your community. It's being able to communicate. It's the power of words, using the power of your words. Your words can pick someone up and your words can destroy somebody. And through your words, you make people feel. There's a very famous quote that says, people won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. And with the power of words, we want to have this tangible impact on people. That is the power of words. And through that, I created the next thing that stood out to you was the band bond initiative or band bond therapy. Is how can we bond people in a really simple way to be able to communicate. And in this case, it's unspoken communication of your emotions that you feel as an individual that you're not ready to talk about, or you don't have the time to talk about, or you're not brave enough to talk about. You're a new student in a job environment and you're not able to say, you know, I'm struggling with this and I need a little compassion. Can you have a little bit of patience with me? So through the Band Bond initiative, that is what we teach.
Great. Now, as in Indian culture, we have got, we'll call it Raksha Bandhan. So there is a bond only between the brother and sister.
Correct.
And that day. So it's a lifetime bond with the sister. Here particularly, not only due to Corona, I feel the world is changing as far as information technology is going too fast, and the speed that is faster the speed, faster the anticipation should be, which is not there today.
In the growth of anxiety.
Exactly. So there we have to anticipate certain things and then talk to the students particularly, because they are the next world. So we have to, instead of concentrating on senior citizens, we should concentrate on students that you are doing a very great job. Yeah, they are the future. So here Indian philosophy is a 5,000 years old philosophy, which includes number of things as verbal communication, non-verbal communications, and number of bonds. But particularly yoga, which goes with Patanjali Yoga Sutra, where we have got all chakras are there in the human body. Now modern education is looking at as we call blind faith number of times, but which is not. So here can you guide or can you explain that how particularly these chakras, we know that they have colors. Like Indian philosophy know that there are colors for the sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. So Saptaswara, they have got colors. So here in the human body, those colors and their effects on their mental health. Can you just elaborate on that?
Absolutely. I believe that we all have, well, every human being has emotions. We feel the same emotion, whether you live in the United States and you're whatever culture or religion you are, whether you live in the Middle East or Africa or Europe. The emotions that the human being feels are all the same. So we talk about, having a vision, having ambition, then we talk about empathy. These are all emotions, and when you talk about things like, you feel the need, you're choked for words, you need to speak out. When you feel love or compassion, you touch your chest, you touch your heart. Butterflies, and sometimes you say when you're a little bit excited or you're in anticipation, you say, I have butterflies in my stomach. And one big sign is young children always complain about pain in their stomach when they are dealing with fear, anger, anxiety. So these are emotions that the body feels, and that has been scientifically proven as well as academically proven. So I took my basic, I was raised in India, within the Indian culture and spirituality. So I believe that taking the chakras, which is ancient Indian philosophy, and connecting it with the human being, which is universal, and having done this in the United States, it was understandable. I brought together people from medicine as well as academics on our board so that we could say, okay, this is a non-clinical approach, but it is a fact that we feel emotions. And then I took the colors that related to these emotions. So the crown chakra, for example, which I think is the most powerful, it's our vision, it's our ambition, it's everything you can be. It's the gift that you come into the world with. And every human being, no matter what stage of life you are in, you have this gift inside of you, but we are not reminded of that. We think our gift is our talent, but our talent is only a path to finding our gift. And once you find your gift, you found your purpose. And that is when you are unstoppable, because you feel the drive, you feel the need to be able to accomplish your purpose on this planet. And therefore, I found that making it really simple by taking the 7 colors, the 7 emotions, and building a curriculum into each of these emotions, which become a tool. So if you have a negative emotion, we give you a positive tool. And what is so beautiful about the way the program is created, that you can have extreme emotions, or you can have very simple and light emotions. Like for me, when I use resilience a lot, but my resilience is just so that I can maybe eat healthy today, or I have to go to the gym today, and that is why I wear resilience. But for someone in a more serious condition, someone who's suffering with addiction, somebody who is, has attempted suicide, for them, resilience is the strength. And now when we use the band bond therapy, it can be, I need help. So if you see me, this is why it's band bond. So I want to go back a little bit. So it's one day at a time. So you have, every individual owns 7 bands, and every morning you think about, what do I need to accomplish today? And I need to make sure I eat healthy. I need to finish the project and make sure I finish it. So I'm going to wear resilient for both those things. And every time I see it on my arm, it's like wearing my emotion on my arm, or you say wearing your heart on your sleeve. I am reminded of what I need to accomplish. But in a more serious condition, I can say, I'm working towards this and I need help. So when you see me and we communicate, we don't have to, it's unspoken communication. You see me, you can say, Deborah, can I help you with your resilience today? And I'll say yes. When we're having lunch, for me, remind me not to touch anything unhealthy or that I'm not supposed to eat. If I'm diabetic, don't eat the potatoes, for example. So it's something as simple as that. But for people that are really struggling with something, this gives them an opportunity to communicate with someone. But we also teach you in the crown chakra respect, and only when you're ready to share, you can talk about it. But the person asking you does not take offense, which is part of the education, is allow people, give them the opportunity to speak. But if they are not ready to speak, you have respect for them, and that is why we teach respect. And respect also has so many different lessons under it. Can I just say one more thing that I did not say earlier, which I should have, that it is 7 bands, it's 7 emotions. That is the only thing that ties it to the chakras, right? But the number 7 appears in every culture and every religion. Every human being understands, whether you're, you have the 7 heavens in Islam, you have the 7 vows that you make around the fire, Buddha took 7 steps. Every religion has the number 7. It's a magical number, 7 days of the week, 7 colors of the rainbow. And that is how we've tied this all together. And the 7 colors have actually come from, we have involved the fashion aspect.
That's great. Now, the last question is this, that the new generation doesn't have an analytical brain, because the education given to them is absolutely commercial education. Even the education has become a consumer good nowadays. I pay number of fees, this payment I have made, you have to give me this much. This is a barter exchange in the other way around. Question is this, the personality amelioration as far as the students are concerned. We have to win over them with this idea. So if you go back, they get isolated. If you talk about old something books, they get isolated. You have to either positively deceive them in conveying this.
Not necessary.
Not necessary?
Absolutely not
so
necessary.
I always have because I'm doing the same job in MIT and as a mentor for the students, and I have to do number of modern things. Even the words, as you said, that the word lame and BT and all other typical words, they are being common in the students. If I use that, they feel that this is my man. That's the way it was. That is why I asked you that can you have some other performing apparatus in this to convey the audience. So take them to the subconscious mind and convey your point. So like I was doing it as a magician. So take them to the subconscious mind and then train them, because the conscious mind cannot be trained. That is what I feel.
Understanding, it's a really simple understanding, and if you can say to someone, when you talk about, just talk about the emotions they feel and talk to me, which is why it's an interaction. Yes. So when we do the presentation of the program, I want you to talk about the emotion you are feeling right now, and I will give you a tool to work with that emotion. And sometimes I'll give you 5 tools to work with it. I'll give you 5 of our bands to work with the one emotion, but it will help you. It's just about sometimes it's just a reminder that kids need, and I don't believe that you need to, you need to cheat them with the way you present something. What is a known fact is that IQ without EQ is unbalanced, and the simple thing, like all of these kids graduate and go to work, and if you witness it, when there is a new employee in an organization, they're afraid. They cannot do a good job because they don't want to be judged. But if the CEO walks up to the new accountant or the new IT guy and says, hello Ravi, how are you today? How can I help you with your optimism? Just that question to this new student or who is in a workplace is going to make him feel like he cares about me. But why does he care about me? Because he's seen that I'm expressing optimism today. We do not express how we're feeling, what we're struggling with, what we're celebrating on. We do not explain that. And that is why we call it the unspoken expression of emotion.
That's true. Great. So I wish you all the best on behalf of MIT World Peace University, and it was a great opportunity to talk to you, interact with you, particularly in the 10th World Parliament for religion, spirituality, all words. It's a power group now.
Absolutely.
And it was great. Particularly, only thing is I'll say, signing it off, I'll say that let the world shouldn't take it as a matter of business when you do this.
No,
and
they
should
foundation.
Exactly. So they should be conveyed first about the foundation. Absolutely. That it's a trust, that it is not a business. This was Deborah from USA. The Power of Words Foundation. She is representing, and what we did for last 10-15 minutes also Power of Words only. I hope that you have understood what she is doing on the international level, and all of us, including audience, you online, we wish her all the best for this, and whatever support needed, and even the seconding of the thought is also a help. So definitely we are going for it, and thank you for patiently listening to us and watching us on this beautiful day, sunny day, and keep your emotions healthy. That's what she is conveying you ultimately. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.